Reverend fathers, sisters, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Good evening to all of you, and a warm welcome from each one of us to each one of you present here. See, the long-awaited day has finally arrived. That's the annual drama of the West Zone Jesuit Juniorate. And this annual play is part of our English training. The Juniorate, as we have it, is an early stage of formation of our brothers. It's a one-year program in which the brothers learn the humanities. They learn the finer points of speech, of writing. They learn, develop their skills in art, in craft, in sports, in music, and in computers. Now, there are 21 brothers with us just now, 21 from 8 provinces. So we assure you a variety of speaking styles and accents. We have Gujaratis, we have Agamit, we have Mumbaikars, we have brothers from Goa, from Mangalore, we have Karnatakas, we have brothers from Kerala, Malayalis, we have Tamilians, we have brothers from Jharkhand, that is the Chota Nagpur. We have brothers from the northeast, and we even have one Nepali with us. Now, the ones behind the parade today are Father Leroy, Mr. Conan Pereira, and all the brothers. Some of them acting there, some of them have done the stage setup. They've helped out in the sound, in the light, and all the other arrangements. This is part of their training. Now, there's been a lot of encouragement for us from the Vinayalaya community, whom we are very thankful to. As you will see, there's been a lot of hard work gone on behind this, and I'm sure you'll enjoy yourselves. It's unfortunate that many of Jesuits from Vinayalaya are not present here because there was a meeting in Gujarat and they had to go there just on this day. So I once again welcome each one of you to this drama, and then there were none. I now welcome Father Leroy to introduce the play to you.
Thank you, Father Aubrey. As Father Aubrey just mentioned to us, in the Juniorate we deal a lot with the classics. So every year when we stage a play or whatever we do, we like to dabble with classics. And so we've chosen this play. It's an Agatha Christie murder mystery. It's a thriller and it's called And Then There Were None. Agatha Christie herself says that this was one of her most difficult novels to write. It was a novel in the first place to begin with. Written in 1939, it had multiple adaptations into plays. In 1943, it was first staged as a play. And so that play we're going to stage before you today, our 21 juniors. Not an easy thing to do, not an easy play to put up, but our brothers have tried to do their best. Now, just a word about the play. And Then There Were None is about a group of people who are invited to an isolated island, somewhere far away, which has just one house on this island. They don't know who it is who has invited them to this place. The host is unknown. And they all find themselves there, 10 people to be precise. And they find a little nursery rhyme on the wall of the living room. And the nursery rhyme is called 10 Little Indians. Very mysteriously, they find life panning out the way things are put down on that nursery rhyme. And very mysteriously, they find people dying. So I'm going to say only this, and then you watch the rest, okay? So this is Agatha Christie, and then there were none. Not N-U-N, and then there were none. Now, just a word before we begin. All your mobile phones, I've been told very often, please put it off or put it on flight mode or on silent mode, because it will interfere with the system, it will interfere with the mics. So I hope you enjoy this day. We're very happy that all of you are here. We're going to begin right away. And then there were none.
Have you any idea when Mr. Owen will arrive?
The last train from London arrives at Sticklehaven at about 6 o'clock, sir. And if Mr. Owens is coming by that, he ought to arrive here at any moment now.
Quaint things, aren't they?
But what are they?
Indians. We are on the island of Indians. I suppose that is the idea.
How many are they?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They are the 10 little Indians of the nursery rhyme, I suppose.
Yeah, that's
See, the rhyme is here.
yeah.
10 little Indians went out to dine. One chopped his little self, and then there were 9. 9 little Indians sat up very late. One overslept himself, and then there were 8.
Yeah, good
Just
one.
hold this, let me take the guitar.
Guitar? Oh. So you know to play the guitar then, huh?
Oh, yeah, little.
Well, even I knew a little, but that's okay.
8 little Indians traveling in day one. One said it stayed there, and then there were 7. 7 little.
Wait a minute. I know the next line. 7 little Indians chopping up sticks. One chopped himself in halves, and then there were 6.
6 little Indians playing with a hive. A bumblebee, a bumblebee stung one, and then there were 5.
5 little Indians go in for law. One got into chancery, and then there were 4.
4 little Indians went out to sea. A red herring swallowed one, and then there were 3.
Oh yeah? Wait a minute. 3 little Indians walking in the zoo. A big bear hugged one, and then there were 2.
Thank you for that. 2 little Indians playing with a gun. One shot his little self, and then there was 1.
We shall take this out later. 1 little Indian left all alone. He got married, and then there were none.
No, you have got the last line wrong. It's he went and hanged himself, and then there were none.
Are you sure? I always thought it was something else.
It's written here like that. Amusing idea, isn't it?
Remarkably childish.
Hey, look, the motorboat has come. And the persons are getting out. Mr. and Mrs. Owen, I suppose.
No. They are both men.
It's high time they turned up. Bad manners not to be present to receive your guest.
That's true.
Judge Wargrave, I never expected to meet you here. You remember me? Dr. Armstrong, I once gave evidence in court before you.
Dr. Armstrong. Oh yes, I do remember. But I don't believe in doctors anymore. All are damn fools.
That's true.
Come on, we are not that bad fellows. But let me introduce my companion.
General MacArthur.
I have heard of you, Dr. Armstrong. You Harley Street specialists are famous. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Davis. Natal in South Africa is my natal spot.
Nice to meet you.
Same to you. Please meet Mr. Marston,
Hello.
Clayton,
Hello.
Lombard,
Hello.
and Mr. Brent.
Hello.
Brent? I had a captain in my regiment, Tom Brent. Any relation?
Yes, he was my brother.
Oh, fine, Officer Tom. What a pity. He got killed. The war took our best men.
Excuse me, but I'm sure you two must be hungry. We finished dinner, but I can tell Rogers to
Please
get
don't
you...
bother. We had something at the inn on the main island.
Have a drink.
Ah,
Oh, I am sorry.
Albert.
I'm sorry.
Give him a handkerchief.
Yes, sir.
first, let me go and pay my respect to my host and hostess.
You can't do that.
Why not?
There's no host and hostess.
What?
It's true. Mr. and Mrs. Owen have not arrived.
Owen? Did you say Owen?
Yes.
I've never met anyone called Owen in my life, but surely you might have seen...
Gentlemen, silence please. You are charged with the following indictments. Edward Armstrong, that on the 14th March 1945, you did cause the death of Louisa Mary Cleese. Joseph Benjamin Brand, that upon the 5th of November 1951, you were responsible for the death of Beatrice Taylor. William Bloor, that you brought about the death of James Lander on October 10th, 1948. Hugo Arthur Clayton, that on the 11th August 1955, you killed Cyril Olive Hamilton. Philip Lombard, that upon a date in February 1952, you were guilty of the death of 21 men, members of an East African tribe. John Gordon MacArthur, that on the 14th January 1942, you deliberately sent your wife's lover, Arthur Richmond, to his death. Anthony James Marston, that upon the 14th day of November last year, you are guilty of the murder of John and Lucy Combs. Lawrence John Wargrave, that upon the 10th of June 1950, you were guilty of the murder of Edward Seton. James and Albert Rogers, that on the 6th of May 1949, you brought about the death of Jonathan Brady. Prisoners at the bar, have you anything to say in your defense?
Doctor, quick!
It's nothing. He's fainted, that's all. He'll be round in a minute. Get some brandy. Right-ho.
Who was that speaking? Where was he? It sounded...
What's going on in here? What kind of a practical joke was that?
That voice, it sounded as if it came from...
Who was it? It wasn't one of us?
Here it is! Here it is!
Gentlemen, silence please. You
Turn
are
it off.
charged with the
I say
following
turn it off!
indictments.
Turn it off, it's audible! Turn it off! Turn it off! Turn it off!
A disgraceful practical joke.
So you think it's a joke?
What else could it be?
Guys, we have forgotten one thing. Who the devil turned the thing on?
Allow me, sir. I'll speak to him. Albert, it's all right. Do you hear me? Albert, Albert.
Come on, let's get up. You are all right now, Albert. Just a nasty turn.
Did I faint, sir?
Yes.
It was that voice, like a judgment. It gave me such a turn.
Of course it did. It gave me a turn too. Made me drop the tray. Wicked lies.
Who put that record on? Was it you, Rogers?
I swear to God, I didn't know what it was. If I had,
Explain.
I'd have never done it, sir. I was following orders, sir. Mr. Owen's orders. I was told to put a record on the gramophone. I'd find the record in the drawer. And my brother was to start the gramophone when everyone was present together.
Quite remarkable.
It's the truth, sir. I swear to God, it's the truth. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was just a piece of music.
Lombard, was there a title on it?
Yes. It is titled Swan Song.
The whole thing is preposterous. Something must be done about it. This fellow, Owen, whoever he is.
Yeah, but just who is he?
That's exactly what we must get into very carefully. I suggest, Rogers, you get your brother to bed and come back here.
Yes, sir.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I could do with a drink.
Now then, Rogers, we need to get to the bottom of this. Who is this Mr. Owen?
He owns this place, sir.
I know. I want to know what you know about the man.
I can't, sir. You see, I've never seen him.
What? You have never seen him? What do you mean?
We have been here only a week, sir. My brother and I. We were engaged by letters through an agency, the Regina Agency in Plymouth.
Do you have that letter with you?
No, sir. I didn't keep it.
Carry on with your story.
We were given orders to prepare room for a house party. And yesterday, by the afternoon post, I received another letter from Mr. Owen. It said that he and Mrs. Owens were delayed somewhere and to do the best we could. It also had the instructions about the gramophone record.
Surely you have that letter with you.
Yes, sir. Here it is.
Headed Ritz Hotel. And typewritten, that too. Quite interesting.
If you'll just let me have a look. HP machine. Quite new. No defects. Bond paper. The most widely used make. You won't get anything out of this. Might be fingerprints, but I doubt it.
He has got some fancy Christian names, hasn't he? Ulick, Norman, Owen. Quite a mouthful.
Well, I'm obliged with you, Mr. Marston. You have brought my attention to a very suggestive point. I think it's time that we all pool in our information regarding the owner of this place. You see, we are all his guests, right? It would be profitable that we all explain how we were invited to this place.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, we need to do it.
Should pull in.
Well, I received the letter with a signature. It was not very easy to read. It was from a gentleman I had met at a certain summer resort 2 or 3 years ago. I took the name to be either Ogden or Oliver. I am acquainted with Mr. Ogden and with Mr. Oliver. I'm quite certain I've never met anyone by the name of Owen.
Mr. Clayton?
Well, I was given to understand that I would get a secretarial holiday post. It was a bit of luck getting this job. I needed a holiday and also the pay. So I jumped at the offer.
Mr. Marston?
Well, I got a letter from a friend of mine, Badger Berkeley. It surprised me at the time because I thought the guy had gone to Norway. He told me to shop at the house of this fellow Owen.
What about you, Dr. Armstrong?
I was called in professionally.
I see. So you had no previous acquaintanceship with the family.
No, a colleague of mine was mentioned in the letter.
And that colleague, I presume, was momentarily out of touch with you.
Well, yes.
MacArthur?
Yes, I too got a letter from that fellow Owen. He mentioned some old pals of mine who were to be here. I haven't kept the letter, you see, I'm afraid.
Lombard?
Same sort of thing. Invitation, mention of mutual friends. I fell for it, all right. I've torn up the letter too.
Before we jump to any accusations, I have a minor point in my mind. This voice, you remember? It spoke of a William Bloor. But that person sadly isn't here. The voice never really mentioned of a Mr. Davis. What have you to say about that, Mr. Davis?
Cat's out of the bag, it seems. I suppose I'd better admit that my name isn't Davis.
So you are William Bloor.
That's right.
Then not only are you under a fake name, Mr. Bloor, but in addition, you are a first-class liar. You claim to have come from Natal, South Africa. I know South Africa and Natal, and I can swear that you have never set foot in South Africa in your life.
Now then, you swine. Any explanation?
You gentlemen have got me wrong. I've got my credentials, and you can see them. I am an ex-CID man. I run a detective agency in Plymouth. I was put on this job.
By whom?
By this man Owen. He enclosed a handsome check for my expenses and told me what he wanted done. I was to join the house party, posing as a guest. I was given all your names. I was to watch you all.
Did he give you any reasons for that?
Mrs. Owen's jewels. But I don't believe there is any such person.
Well, your conclusions are, I think, justified. Ulick Norman Owen. In Mr. Brent's letter, though the surname is a mere scrawl, the Christian names are reasonably clear. Upton Noel. In both the letters we see, the initials are exactly the same. That is to say, UN Owen, or by a sleight of fancy, unknown.
This is fantastic. Crazy. Unknown?
Yes, indeed. But however, we will move to the next stage of our inquiry. This letter, given to me by a friend of mine, Lady Constance Culmington. It's a vague invitation as always, she sends me the same thing. But it brings up one interesting point. Whoever it is that has invited us here, he knows or he has taken great trouble to know a good deal about each and every one of us. He is aware of my friendship with Lady Constance. He is aware of Dr. Armstrong's colleagues. He very well knows the nickname of Mr. Marston's friend and the type of telegram he sends. You see, he knows a great deal about each and every one of us. And in all this knowledge, considering us, he has made certain definite accusations.
A pack of damn lies.
Slander, wicked lies.
Don't know what
Yeah,
idiot
getting it.
Silence! I wish to say this. This unknown friend of ours has accused me of the murder of one Edward Seton. Seton I know perfectly well. He had come before me for the trial, charged with the murder of an elderly woman. He was ably defended, and he made a good impression on the jury. But nevertheless, on the evidence, he was guilty. I summed up accordingly, and the jury brought in verdict of guilty. My conscience is clear on this matter. I did my job, nothing else. I convicted that murderer.
I would like to tell you something about that child, Cyril Hamilton. I was his tutor. He was a delicate sort of a child and forbidden to swim out far. One day, when my attention was distracted, he swam out far. I swam after him, but I couldn't make it. It was awful. But it wasn't my fault. Even his mother did not blame me.
Well, there's no point in discussing these matters. But still, I feel I ought to say that there was no truth in whatsoever was said of Arthur Richmond. He was one of my fine officers, a close friend too. I had to send him out on an exploration, and there he was killed by the natural course of events during the wartime.
And about those 21 natives,
What about them?
the story is quite true. I left them. It was a matter of self-preservation. We were lost in the bush. I and a couple of other fellows took what food there was and we cleared out.
So, you abandoned your men and left them to starve?
Self-preservation is man's first duty. And natives don't mind dying, you know. They don't feel about it as Europeans do.
So, you just left them to die?
I left them to die.
Well, I've been thinking John and Lucy Combs must have been a couple of kids I ran over near Cambridge. Beastly bad luck.
For them or for you?
Well, I was thinking for me, but of course you are right. It was rather tough luck on them also. Of course, it was a pure accident. They ran out of some cottage or something. I had my license suspended for a year. Beastly nuisance.
If I might say a word, sir.
Go ahead, Albert.
There was mention of me, my brother James, and of Mr. Brady. There isn't a word of truth in it, sir. My brother and I were with Mr. Brady when he died. He was always in poor health. There was a storm that night, the night he was ill. The telephone was out of order. I went for the doctor on foot, but it was too late. We had done everything possible, sir.
What about you, Blow? Your name was included in that list.
Lander, you mean? That was a bank robbery. London and Commercial.
That case didn't come up before me, but I remember that case. Landor was convicted on your evidence, right? And he died a little later, didn't he? Weren't you in charge of that case?
I was only doing my duty.
What a duty-loving, law-abiding lot we seem to be. Myself accepted. What about you, doctor? And your little professional mistake? Illegal operation, was it?
I'm at loss to understand the matter. The name meant nothing to me when it was spoken. What was it? Some fleas? It may have been one of my old operation cases. They come too late. And when the patient dies, it's always the surgeon's fault.
Are you waiting for me to say something? I have nothing to say.
Nothing, Mr. Brent.
Nothing.
So you reserve your defense.
There is no question of defense. Beatrice Taylor was in service with me, but she deceived me. She had nice manners and was willing, but she was a hypocrite, a loose girl with no morals.
And what happened to that girl?
She took her own life.
She killed herself?
Yes, she threw herself into the river.
Weren't you sorry? Didn't you blame yourself?
If she had behaved like a decent woman, none of this would have happened to her.
Okay. Our inquiry rests here. Rogers, can you tell us who else is on this island other than ourselves?
Nobody, sir.
Are you sure?
We are quite sure, sir.
I'm not clear why our host assembled us here. But in my opinion, whoever it is not quite sane. And I'm telling you, it would be well for us that we leave this place as soon as possible.
Yes.
Let's leave right now.
Yes, that's the right.
I beg your pardon, sir, but there is no boat on the island.
No boats?
No boat at all?
No,
What are
sir.
you saying?
No boat.
Then how do we communicate with the mainland?
Sir, there is a man called Fred Narracott, sir. He comes here every morning. He brings to us the bread and the milk and the post and takes back our orders.
Okay. Then tomorrow morning it is. As soon as Narracott boat arrives, we move.
That's right.
A bit unsporting, it seems to me. We ought to ferret out the mystery before we go.
Nonsense.
The whole thing here is like a detective story. Positively thrilling.
At my age, I have no desire for thrills.
The legal life is always narrowing. I am all for crime. Here's to it.
Master?
I think he's drunk.
Looks like drunk. Always drunk.
My God! He is dead!
Dead? You mean he just choked himself and died?
You can call it choking if you like. He died of asphyxiation.
Never knew that a man could die like that. Just of a choking fit.
In the midst of life, we are in death.
No. A man doesn't die of mere choking fit. Marston's death wasn't what we call a natural death.
Was there something in the whiskey?
Yes. Can't say exactly what. Possibly one of the cyanides. Maybe potassium cyanide. It acts pretty well instantaneously.
Was it in the glass?
Yes. They are both all right.
You mean he put the stuff in the glass by himself?
Seems like it.
Suicide, huh? Fancy that.
Is there any possibility other than suicide?
There's no point hanging around. We better go to bed. It's getting late.
I think he's right. We need to get some sleep. Get this body away.
Let's carry Marston to his room. Give me a hand, Blow.
Nine? Fancy that. Must have counted wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Fancy that. I could have sworn there were 10 of them.
No sign of that motorboat yet. I have been watching for it.
I'll be glad to get away. Breakfast was terrible this morning. Over fried eggs and burnt toast.
You must excuse any shortcomings this morning. Rogers had to do the best he could for the breakfast single-handed. His brother has not been able to carry on this morning.
What's wrong with the man?
Albert Rogers died in his sleep.
Right? What? 2 deaths on the island since you have arrived?
Remarkable. What was the cause of the death?
Difficult to say offhand.
He looked a nervous sort of a fellow. And he had a shock and fainted last night. Might be heart failure, I suppose.
His heart certainly failed to beat. But what caused it to fail is the question.
Conscience.
What exactly do you mean by that, Mr. Brent?
You all heard. He was accused, together with his brother, of having deliberately murdered his former employer. His wickedness got revealed.
Well, I don't know. It's possible. One cannot adopt it without a mere exact knowledge of his state of health. If there was cardiac weakness.
Call it, if you prefer, an act of God.
That's carrying things a bit far, Mr. Brent.
You regard it as impossible that a sinner should be struck down by the wrath of God? I do not.
My dear man, in my experience of wrongdoing, Providence leaves the work of conviction and chastisement to us mortals. The process is fraught with difficulties. There are no shortcuts.
Doctor, what did he have to eat or drink after he went to bed last night?
Nothing. James assures his brother had nothing whatsoever.
Well, allow for a moment that Albert Rogers and his brother James polished off the old agent, and they are feeling quite safe and happy about it.
No, I don't think Albert Rogers ever felt safe.
That may be, but there's no real danger to them as far as they know. Then last night, some lunatic spills the beans. What happens? Albert cracks. He faints. He's shit scared. Notice how his brother also panics seeing Albert. It wasn't all brotherly solicitude, be sure. Rogers was scared out of his wits as to what Albert would say. So, this is the situation. They have done a murder together and have got away with it. But if it came out in the open, Albert would crack up and spill the beans. And so, James's neck is also in danger. And so, he slips something into a cup of tea and makes sure that Albert's mouth is shut permanently.
It may be so, but I hardly think that it is possible for a man to do that to his own brother.
When a man's neck is in danger, he doesn't stop to think too much about sentiment.
Rogers, when does the motorboat usually come over?
It comes usually between 7 and 8, sir.
7 and 8. But it's 10 minutes to 10 already.
I don't know what Fred Narracott could be doing this morning, sir. If he is ill, he would usually send his brother.
Sorry to hear about your brother, Rogers. The doctor's just been telling us.
Thank you, sir.
What's the matter, man?
Sir, it's those little figures, sir. Those 10 little Indian figures. I will swear there were 10 of them. I will swear there were 10 of them.
Yes, 10. We counted them last night.
That's just it, sir. Last night when I was clearing, they were in 10, but 9. But now if you don't believe me, see for yourself, sir. There are not 9, but only 8. What? Only 8, sir. Only 8.
Pull yourself together, men. There's nothing in it.
Only 8. Something is not right, sir. Only 8.
That man is a bundle of nerves.
It's as I said before, conscience. His conscience is beginning to worry him now.
Well, Rogers is right about one thing. There were 10 little figures last night. Marston counted them.
Marston had too many drinks. He probably counted them wrong. I think it's of no use waiting here. The boat's not going to come. I am going to my room.
Something must have happened to the boat. I'll go to the shore and try to flash signals to the mainland.
About this motorboat?
I know what you're thinking. The motorboat should have been here 2 hours ago.
Yes, and it hasn't come.
It's not an accident. It's part of this whole game, I think.
Game?
Yes. I do think it won't come. We are counting on the motorboat to take us off the island. But that's just the meaning of this whole business. None of us are ever going to leave this island. This is the plan. We are all coming to an end. This is real peace. To come to an end.
Speaking about.
There goes another one who is balmy. But it would take a lot to knock me off.
Me too.
Excuse me. I would like to have a consultation with you two.
Consultation. My dear fellow, I have no medical knowledge.
No! I mean, as to the general situation. For instance, about Mr. Blow's theory regarding Albert Rogers' death. What do you think?
That Rogers killed his own brother? It's feasible.
You really think so?
It seems perfectly clear to me. What are the possible theories? First, Rogers killed him because he was afraid that Albert would give the show away. And second possibility, Albert Rogers lost his nerve and took an easy way out.
Suicide, What do you say to that, Mr. Lombard?
What we need is a theory to explain both deaths.
You know, there may be something in what Rogers said a while ago.
About those 10 little Indians? There being 10 and now only 8? He was talking rubbish.
I'm not so sure. Remember the verses? 10 little Indians went out to dine. One choked his little self, and then there were 9. 9 little Indians sat up very late. One overslept himself, and then there were 8.
It fits too well to be coincidence. Marston chokes himself and Albert Rogers oversleeps.
And therefore,
another kind of Indian, one unknown lunatic at large, Mr. U.N. Owen.
but Rogers swore there were no one else but ourselves on the island.
Rogers was wrong. No motorboat this morning. That fits in. We are to be isolated until Mr. U.N. Owen has finished his business. But there is one thing that Mr. U.N. Owen did not realize.
What's that?
This island is more or less a bare rock. We shall make short work of searching it and will soon hunt down this Mr. U.N. Owen.
This man Owen probably is a maniac. He may be dangerous.
Dangerous? Who is afraid of the big bad wolf, eh? I will be dangerous when I find him. So, gentlemen, let's make a start.
Yeah. But has anyone got a revolver by any chance? I suppose that's too much to hope for.
I have got one.
Do you always carry that on you?
I have been in some tight places, you know.
Well, you've probably never been in a tighter place than you are in now. If there is a lunatic on this island, he probably got some dangerous equipment.
You may be wrong there, Mr. Blower. Many homicidal lunatics are quiet, unassuming people, delightful fellows.
Well, we'll see that.
Come along, gentlemen. Let's get hold of some rope as well. You two could let me down the side of the cliff, just in case there is a hidden cave or something. Come along.
Slowly.
Yes.
Be
Yeah.
careful.
Be careful.
Yes, let me down.
Yeah.
There may be a rock down there.
Ah! Hold me tight.
Yeah. Slowly.
Slower.
Okay.
There's nobody here. Pull me up.
Yeah. Slowly, slowly.
I'll go the
Nobody.
other way.
Go that side.
Oh, General MacArthur, do you know where the others are?
What does it matter where they are? It's best to sit here quietly, as I do, and wait.
Wait? What are you waiting for?
The end. You know that, don't you?
What do you
We
mean?
are all waiting for the end.
What is it that you mean?
None of us are going to leave the island. That's the plan. But what perhaps you can't understand is the relief.
The relief?
Yes, of course. You are very young and you haven't got that experience yet. But relief does come when you know that you have done with it all and you don't have to carry the burden any longer.
I don't understand you.
You see, I loved Jennifer. I loved her very much.
Was Jennifer your wife?
Yes, my wife. I loved her and I was proud of her. And that's why I did it.
You did what?
Well, there is no point in denying now. Not when all of us are going to die. I sent Richmond to death. Are you curious? It was a murder. I've always been a law-abiding man, and it didn't seem like a murder at that time, and I had no regrets. But serve him damn well right. But afterwards, I don't know. I don't know if Jennifer ever guessed. No, I don't think so. I don't know her anymore. She had gone far away from me, where I couldn't reach her. And then she died. And I was alone. You will be glad too when the end comes.
I don't know, what do you mean?
I know.
No, you don't. You don't understand anything at all.
He's saying me, I don't.
So, there's no one on the island. That's confirmed. We were wrong all along. We unnecessarily built up a nightmare of superstition and fantasy just because of the coincidence of 2 deaths.
And yet, you know the argument holds. I'm a doctor. I know something about suicides. Marston wasn't a suicidal type.
It could have been an accident.
Damn queer sort of an accident.
What could Rogers be doing? It's past lunchtime. I'm hungry after that search. By the way, doctor, about Albert Rogers,
Yes,
it's possible, isn't it, that it could have been an accident?
an accident? In what way?
I mean, when you were giving him a pill, by mistake, you didn't give him an overdose, did you?
What do you mean? Doctors can't afford to make a mistake of that kind.
It won't be the first time you made it, if that record is to be believed.
What's the point, Blo? We are all in the same boat. What about your own pretty little spot of perjury?
Perjury? That was a foul lie. And what about you, Mr. Lombard?
What about me?
I want to know why you brought a revolver down here on a pleasant social visit.
I brought it because I expected to run into a spot of trouble. I'd better tell you everything. I got an offer of £100. What? From our dear Mr. Ewan Owen to come down here and keep my eyes open.
Why didn't you tell us that last night?
I didn't know that we would all get into this mess. All I can see now is a trap. Marston and Albert are dead. The Indian statues are disappearing. The culprit is Mr. Ewan Owen. But where is he?
That was a dinner gong, wasn't it? I wasn't quite sure. I'm a little hard of hearing.
I wonder whether we are going to be starved by this Mr. Owen. It's long time past lunchtime, you see. What's this? You seem to have had an active morning.
Am I late? I hope not.
You are not the last. General MacArthur is not here yet.
He must be at the balcony. He was sitting there and waiting.
Waiting?
It's funny. He didn't hear the gong being so close by. General MacArthur? General MacArthur? General MacArthur? MacArthur? Oh God! Another death! Doctor, come quick!
He's dead! What? He's been dead for an hour!
Look! Look! There are only 6!
6? Who's missing?
Where's Rogers?
He must be in the kitchen. Come on, bro, let's look for him.
If Rogers is dead, as I believe he is, he can't be the murderer. That rather smashes up that Blow's theory.
I remember a text that hung in my nursery as a child. Be sure that sin will find thee out. It's very true. I'm sure Rogers is dead, struck by the hand of the Lord.
What news?
Dead.
What?
Another dead? I told you. He was struck by the hand of the Lord.
I don't know if the Lord did it, but he was certainly struck down. He was chopping firewood in the kitchen yard when the murderer crept up behind him and killed him with another axe.
Where do they keep bees on this island? Just tell me that. Where do we go for honey?
Honey?
Don't look at me like that. I'm not mad. Don't you know the rhyme? 8 little Indians traveling in their one. One said he'd stay there. And then there were 7. That's General MacArthur. 7 little Indians chopping up sticks. One chopped himself in halves. And then there were 6. That is Rogers. I know the whole rhyme by heart. I'll tell you. 6 little Indians playing with a hive. That is why I'm asking. Do they keep bees on this island? Thank you. I'm all right now. Thank you.
We need to get to the bottom of this. Open some lunch tins, and then we shall discuss the matter thoroughly.
Okay, we've come to the end of Act 1. We're going to have a short break, a 15-minute break. Please don't get up from your seats. Snacks are going to be served to you. Snacks. Number 2. Snacks will be served to you in your seats. So please remain where you are, unless you want to use the washroom. The washrooms are out for the gents to my right, to the right of the door, and the ladies, the left of the door. There's drinking water for those who want. For those of you who can remain in your seats, please do that. We're going to have a little musical piece also in the meantime for you.
You must be wondering what these young men are doing, these brothers are doing here. They want to entertain you. Now, they are, as part of their hobbies, they are into music. So they often they sing in long stretches. Now this is the Junior 8 band. They wanted the name for this band. We were wondering what name to give them. Since they stretch out their music, we call them the rubber band. So this is our Jesuit Junior 8 rubber band.
Check. Hello. Mic.
Good evening to one and all.
Check.
Tonight, we are going to sing for you 2 songs. The first song is God's Not Dead. It is a very popular gospel rock song by the Newsboys. We love to sing this song back there in the Northeast, and so here we are to sing for you.
Love explode and bring the dead to life. A love so bold to bring a revolution somehow. Let love explode and bring the dead to life. A love so bold to bring a revolution somehow. Now I'm lost in your freedom, and this world I've overcome. My God's not dead, He's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, He's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. Soaring, soaring.
heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. My God's not dead, He's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, He's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, He's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, He's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. He's roaring, He's roaring, He's roaring like a lion. He's roaring, He's roaring, He's roaring like a lion. He's roaring like a lion.
Thank you. Okay, the second song that we are going to sing is When All of God's Singers Get Home. If you know the song, please join us.
What a song of love in the city so bright. Will be wafted in heaven's meadow. How the ransom will raise happy songs in His praise. When all of God's singers get home. When all of God's singers get home. Whenever a sorrow will come, there'll be no place like heaven, like home. When all of God's singers get home. As we sing here on earth, songs of sadness or mirth, it's a foretaste of rapture to come. But a joy can't compare with the glory up there. When all of God's singers get home. When all of God's singers get home. Whenever a sorrow will come, there'll be no place like heaven, my home. When all of God's singers get home. Having overcome sin, hallelujah, amen, will be heard in that land or the throne. Every heart will be light and His face will be bright. When all of God's singers get home. When all of God's singers get home. Whenever a sorrow will come, there'll be no place like heaven, my home. When all of God's singers get home.
Thank you.
We're all set to begin Act 2 of Agatha Christie, and then there were none.
morning while I was on the terrace, I was watching all of you. Your purpose was beyond doubt. You all were searching the island for the unknown murderer.
Quite right, sir.
You had without doubt come to the same conclusion that I have, namely that the deaths of Marston and Albert were neither accidents nor suicides. You had the same conclusions, that of Mr. Owen in enticing all of us to this island.
He is a madman, a loony.
That's there. But that hardly affects the issue right now. Our main preoccupation should be this: to save our lives.
There is no one on the island. I tell you, no one.
Do I take it that you all agree?
Not a doubt about it. And if you ask me, I've got a very good idea.
We'll come to that soon. For now, my only wish is that we all are in agreement with the facts.
Your argument is logical. I believe one of us is possessed by the devil.
What? Mr. Brent, I hope you are not offended by my insistence that all of us are equally under suspicion.
The idea that even I should be accused of taking a fellow creature's life is of course quite absurd to anyone who knows my character. But I do agree that we are all strangers to one another, and that in these circumstances, nobody can be exonerated without the fullest proof. There is, as I have said, a devil among us.
So I take it that we agree. There can be no elimination on the grounds of character and position alone.
Well, have it your own way. U.N. Owen is one of us. No exceptions allowed.
So let us consider some facts. Is there any one of us who thinks he has done any of the murders?
Now you're making sense, sir. That's the stuff. As regard to young Marston, I think any one of us could have been the murderer. But take Albert Rogers, the one who stands out there is the doctor. He gave the medicine to him.
I protest! The dose I gave was perfectly fine.
Dr. Armstrong, your imagination is perfectly natural. But the facts have to be faced. You could have given that fatal dose with the greatest of ease. But what about the rest of us? Can any of us be eliminated?
But none of us gave him anything.
Not when he fainted, I admit. But later,
I don't get you. When could we have done it?
when we were in the rooms. Albert Rogers is lying in his bed, and in the effect of sedative movement, there's a tap on the door, and someone opens, enters, with the medicine and the message saying that the doctor says, you have to take this. Can you imagine for one moment that Rogers would have not swallowed it obediently without thinking much about it?
This is fantastic.
Do we really think so?
And that leads us to what?
Well, we come to the murders of MacArthur and Rogers. I ask, does anyone have a valid defense? State it! I confess, I personally have none. The whole morning, I was in my room. But what do I have for it? My word. There must be proof. We need evidence.
I was still with Lombard and Armstrong all morning, and they will testify to that.
That's right.
The three of you, were you all together all morning?
No. As a matter of fact, we separated pretty often.
Mr. Brent,
I was making some entries in my diary.
surely you weren't writing all morning.
Of course not. After I had noted the event of the previous night and this morning, I read my Bible.
Till lunchtime.
Yes.
Clayton,
Well, I first went down to shore and tried to flash signals to the mainland. Then I wandered about a bit. I've been terribly restless this morning.
I will now sum up briefly. We have inquired into the deaths, all the circumstances, to the best of our abilities. We cannot definitely say that one person is clear of all involvement. I will reiterate my belief that one of us is dangerous and probably an insane criminal. And I warn everyone to be on your guard. Till now, the task of the killer has been very easy. You know why? Because the victims have been unsuspicious. Now the task is on us to suspect each and every one of us. Forewarned is forearmed. Take no risk and be alert to danger. That is all.
The court will now adjourn.
What's wrong with you, Mr. Brent?
Just a sudden attack of illness. Something must have upset me at lunch.
Giddy, huh? Quite natural. I can give you something.
No.
As you please, Mr. Brent.
Have a glass of brandy, Mr. Brent.
I don't touch liquor. I don't wish to take anything. I will just sit quietly in my room till the giddiness passes off.
Wargrave, I wanted to speak to you about something.
Later.
Hey, Lombard. Some? Do you believe Wargrave is right in saying that the murderer is one of us?
I take it that you are referring to the two of us. I know that I am not the murderer, and I don't fancy there is anything insane about you.
Well, thanks.
Well, aren't you going to return the compliment?
You have already admitted that you don't hold human life very sacred. But all the same, I see you as the man who dictated that gramophone record.
Quite right. This mass murder is not my line. If I were to murder anyone, it would be solely for what I could get out of it. So, good. Then let us eliminate ourselves and concentrate on the others. Which of them is you and Owen? I'd go for Justice Wargrave.
Wargrave? Why?
Hard to say exactly. He has been presiding over law courts for years, judging people, acting as if he is Almighty God.
Yes, it is possible.
Well, whom do you choose?
Armstrong.
Doctor, eh? Why? I would have put him last.
Well, if a doctor went mad, very few would suspect.
And doctors easily overwork, you know.
Yes, but
Marston and Albert Rogers were poisoned. That points to a doctor. Besides, in our knowing exactly when each one died, we have to rely on him. He could easily say they had been dead for hours. And who is to contradict him?
You know, that's a very clever idea of yours.
Joseph Benjamin Brent, you are accused of the murder of Beatrice Taylor. Have you anything to say? Have you? It's no use. I accuse you. You know who I am? I am Beatrice Taylor. Don't you remember me? The girl who drowned herself in despair? I have come for my revenge. Revenge is mine. I will repay, saith the Lord. Revenge is mine, mine. Why don't you call out? Ha 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 ha! You can't. Do you know why? You are drugged. It was easy. All the others took whiskey or wine for lunch, but not you. You never touch liquor. You'll have only a cup of tea. How easy it was to drop a little powder into the teapot. You feel giddy? Don't you? You feel drowsy? You'd like to sleep? You shall. Joseph Benjamin Brent, prepare for your eternal rest. Do you hear that buzzing? That's the bee, the bumblebee. 6 little Indians playing with a hive. A bumblebee stung one and then there were 5. Ha 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 ha!
Hey Lombard, will you have some tea?
No thanks. Whiskey is my choice. Keep the tea for the Reverend Teetotaler Brent.
He's been sleeping a long time. Shall I go and call him?
Just a minute. Look, everybody, my opinion is this. We need not look any further for the murderer than here, right now. I'll take my oath. That man is the one we are after.
Brent?
Brent?
And what would be his motive?
Religious mania. He thinks he's God's instrument. You heard him. The hand of the Lord had struck him. That's the hand of Reverend Joseph Benjamin Brent, if you ask me.
It's possible.
It's true, I tell you. He sits the whole day reading the Bible.
But that's hardly any proof of an unbalanced mentality.
Well, What do you say to this? The Reverend Joseph Benjamin Brent's diary.
You stole it from his room?
No, of course not. I found it lying on the table. Read it, and you will soon see that he is mad.
My dear sir, you can't read another man's diary. It's personal. It's private.
All is fair in love and war, especially when there is a homicidal maniac about the place.
Perhaps Bloor is right. Brent has noted down in detail the death of all who have been murdered, with suitable quotations from the scripture. Listen to this. General MacArthur is dead. There is doubt that he was murdered. The murderer must be one of us. Who is it? They are all asking themselves that question. They are all guessing. I alone know.
Do you hear that? They are all guessing. I alone know. How does he know? How does he know? Because he himself is the murderer.
There is a very significant quotation on this page. Revenge is mine, saith the Lord. I will repay.
I think you should summon Brent, question him.
Oh Jesus, look!
Gosh! Another death. One of us acquitted. It's just too late. Too late.
Now how did he die, doctor?
There's a mark of a hypodermic syringe on his neck.
Look, look, a bee, a bumblebee. Remember what I said this morning?
It wasn't the bee that stung him. A human hand held the syringe.
What poison was injected?
I guess one of the cyanides. Probably potassium cyanide. Same as Anthony Marston. He must have died immediately.
But that bee, it can't be a coincidence.
Oh no, it isn't a coincidence. It's a murderous touch of local color. He's a playful beast. He likes to stick to his damn nursery jingle as closely as possible.
This is freaking mad. Absolutely mad. We are all mad.
We have, I hope, our reasoning powers with us. I ask anyone, did anyone bring a hypodermic syringe in this house?
Yes, I did. I always travel with one. Most doctors do.
Well, doctor, will you tell us where is the syringe right now?
In my medical case.
We need to verify the fact.
It's here in the hall. Someone must have taken it. Someone must have taken it, I tell you.
Listen, there are 5 of us in the room. And one of us is the murderer. The process is fraught with dangers. I ask, doctor, do you have any medicines in your possession?
Here's my medical case. You can examine it. There's some sleeping stuff, some trigonal and sulfonal, a packet of bromide, bicarbonate of soda, aspirin, Nothing else. I have no cyanide in my possession.
Everything must be done to safeguard the 4 of us who are innocent. Lombard, you have a revolver, don't you?
What about it?
Only this. I propose that the doctor's supply of drugs and your revolver be placed in a safe place. After that, we all submit to a search.
I'll be damned if I give up my revolver.
Lombard, you realize that if you resist, the odds will be heavily against you.
Oh, very well, since you have got it all taped out.
You are a sensible young man. Where's the revolver of yours?
In the drawer of a table by my bed. I'll fetch it.
Wait. If some others went with you, it would be better. Lord, Clayton, go with him.
Suspicious devil, aren't you? Come along.
We need to keep these drugs in the cupboard. I have found a box in the pantry. I'll get it. Wait. Here's a box with a lock and a key. Quickly.
We are all going to be murdered in our beds.
I hope not.
But what can we
I
do?
intend to take every precaution.
We have no idea even who it can be.
I wouldn't quite say that.
You mean? You know?
As regards to actual evidence, that what is necessary in court, I admit I have none. But it appears to me that there is this one particular person who is indicated very clearly. And I have a way of spoiling his little plan.
Where is it?
I don't
There's the
understand.
revolver.
Don't breathe a word of what he
Said.
We shall discuss the matter
the
later.
cupboard.
They are coming.
Where's the revolver?
I'm telling the truth.
You can't bullshit us. You might have kept it somewhere else. The revolver is gone. What? Try to remember.
Gone, stolen.
What do you mean?
I don't know. After lunch, I'd kept it in my drawer. It's no longer there.
You've probably hidden it somewhere.
You pig-headed fool. I'm telling you, it's been stolen. Stop it.
Stop it! Stop it! If it is stolen, it must be hidden somewhere.
Our
We
search,
must look for it then.
our search will be of no use. The killer has probably hidden it very well. But before that, we need to keep those drugs in a safe place. I found that box in the pantry.
That is all right. But who would keep the key? You, I suppose?
No, not me. The key to the box, landlord. And the key to the cupboard, to you. So if both will be needed to get those medicines, and if you all try, there will be a lot of noise with that cupboard. It will gain the attention of all of us.
I see. Let's look for the revolver now.
Yes, by all means. But we need to stick together. If we separate, the murderer gets his chance.
Mr. Clayton? Please, Mr. Clayton? Can I swim to the rock? Mr. Clayton, why can't I swim to the rock? No, Cyril, it's too far. But Mr. Clayton, But Mr. Clayton, please, Mr. Clayton, Mr. Clayton, please.
We should not just sit here doing nothing. There must be something. There must be something we can do.
It's only a question of time. Tomorrow morning, the boat will come.
A question of time? There's no time left. We'll soon be dead.
Not if we are careful. We must all be careful.
Time for supper. I'll go and open some tins. You all can stay here. We'll have a meal here.
Wait. We'd prefer that you open those tins right here.
You don't trust me, huh?
No.
All right. I'll open them in front of you all. What the? Who's monkeying with the lights?
It's the murderer. We'll all be murdered. Oh God. Oh no. Oh God. Oh God.
Keep quiet.
Oh no.
Don't get hysterical. Where's the switch?
There are some candles in the table drawer. Get them. Get them.
Someone put on the lights.
Do something. We are going to be murdered. Oh,
Where are the candles? I can't find the candles.
Light the match some.
I caught you!
Hey, leave me, you fool!
I caught you!
Leave me, damn fool, before I
fire that
Not
shot.
this time.
Who fired that
Leave
shot?
me, damn fool, it's me!
Fool. Where's Wargrave?
Oh God! Oh God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh God! The verse. Remember the verse? 5 little Indians go and follow. One got into Chancery, and then there were 4.
Hey, Clayton! Brandy, quickly! Clayton! What happened?
Number?
Take.
No!
I have not poisoned if that's what you think.
Thanks. But I'd prefer to pour it out myself.
Good for you, Clayton. You got your wits about you.
If you say I tampered with the brandy, I'll knock your bloody block off.
Shot through the head. Dead. Instantly. Where's that revolver now?
Its owner is best qualified to tell us that.
I don't have it! You can search me if you like.
I will.
Satisfied? Now I suggest that all of us be searched.
It's no use. It's probably hidden again. The murderer had plenty of time in the darkness.
The darkness. I had forgotten that. Who the hell put out the lights? Our fuse has gone somewhere.
No, I know. The lights here run on an engine. The engine has not been run today since Rogers hasn't been there to see to it.
Can't any of you get it going again?
Not my line. So it's candles then. How does the nursery rhyme go? Here is a candle to light you to bed, and here is a chopper to chop, chop, chop!
Don't you try to!
I'm sorry, Clayton. I didn't mean to upset you. So that's the end of Justice Wargrave. No more putting on the black cap. No more summing up and sending innocent men to death.
Remember? You thought he was the one?
Yes, I was wrong. Here is another one of us proved innocent. too late.
Tonight is gonna be one hell of a sleepless night.
Did the rhyme also suggest that we sleep with our eyes open?
Don't you dare move!
I will take Wargrave's body away to his room.
Careful with that torch. Don't let him see us. Oh shit! Oh, it's all right. It's Clayton.
Lombard? Lombard?
Put that out, you fool! It's all right, Clayton. Don't get scared. It's only Blore and myself.
Okay. I was in my room and I heard a sound outside it. And then I saw you two tiptoe past. Has anything happened?
We are following Armstrong.
Armstrong?
He's not in his room.
Huh?
Blow heard a sound outside and then saw Armstrong walking along the corridor. He alerted me too, and now we are following him. Come on.
Wait. It may be a trap. How do you know Blore isn't lying? Now look here, you!
Keep quiet.
I'll come along with you two.
Okay.
No. Huh? You better stay here. No. Just in case Armstrong tricks us and comes back into the house.
Yes, that seems good.
Huh?
But staying alone here might be dangerous.
Yeah. Take me. Take me.
Here, take this revolver.
Huh? Where did you find this revolver?
I found it back in my room when I went to bed. Don't be a fool, Blow. I'm telling the truth. If I wanted to murder you, I wouldn't give the revolver to Clayton, would I? Clayton, if you see Armstrong, don't take any risk. If necessary, shoot! Come here! And shoot to kill. Take this. Come on, Blow. I'll open the door for you.
Mr. Clayton? Please, Mr. Clayton. I want to swim out to the rock, Mr. Clayton.
No.
But Mr. Clayton, why can't I swim out to the rock, Mr. Clayton? Mr. Clayton, please, Mr. Clayton.
No!
Mr. Clayton, please.
No, please. Please don't. Please, no. This is all imagination. I'm all right. But I mustn't start imagining things. It's all in the past. I mustn't start thinking. Huh? 3. 3, no. 1, 2, 3. What is that rhyme? 4 little Indians going out to sea. A red herring, solid 1. Then there were 3. A red herring. A red herring. I wonder.
Mr. Clayton?
No.
Please!
No,
Mr.
please,
Clayton.
no! Please!
I
Please
want to
stop
swim out to
it!
the
Stop
road,
it!
Mr.
Stop it! I
Clayton.
say stop!
Mr.
No!
Clayton, please!
No!
Please,
No!
Mr. Clayton.
Good morning, comrades.
Good morning.
Now it's time, as old Wargrave would have said, to sum up the situation. We are only 3 Indians left. Armstrong has vanished.
This is nonsense. He's hiding somewhere.
There is nowhere to hide on this island, you fool.
It was night time. You may have missed him.
There was a full moon out. It was as clear as daylight outside.
It's odd.
He may have been thrown into the sea.
By whom? You? Me? We saw him go out of the house. We went after him together. When the devil did anyone had the chance to kill him?
I don't know, but I do know one thing.
What's that?
The revolver. You said you had lost it, and then you turned up again with it last night?
You blockhead! I swear it was put back on my bed. Greatest surprise I ever had in my life when I found it back there.
You want us to believe a thing like that? Why would Armstrong put it back?
I don't know. How would I know?
You could have thought of a better story at least.
I think you two are acting like a pair of idiots. Can you see this? Come here. Come here, I say. Come here. Come here. Look at this. You two, come. Say, come here. Hey, come, I said. Just come. Say this. 4 little Indians going out to sea. A red herring swallowed 1. And then there were 3. A red herring. That's the vital clue. Armstrong is not dead. He is on the island still. His disappearance is just a red herring across the track. Don't you see that he is mad? He dressed up the judge. He killed Rogers while he was chopping sticks. He did that bumblebee thing to Brent. It's like some horrid child playing a game.
What's the next verse? 3 little Indians walking in the zoo. A big bear hugged one, and then there were 2. At any rate, there is no zoo on the island.
Can't you see? We are the zoo. Last night, we were hardly human anymore. We are the zoo.
And Armstrong is the big bad wolf, eh? Or rather, the big bad bear.
I think we are wasting way too much time. If Armstrong is hiding somewhere, we ought to seize him quickly.
But what's the use? We looked last night and couldn't find him.
Last night was different. It was night. Today, we need to nab him and settle this once and for all. With or without your help, I will find that crook.
All this is crazy.
Blow.
What?
Yes, our friend Blow. I think he has got rid of Armstrong. I don't trust him an inch.
But what makes you say that?
What's that?
A thud shook the ground, and I thought, did you hear a cry?
Oh, Jesus! It's broad. Be careful. Something was dropped onto him from the room above. Looks like he smashed.
Oh God. I know what it is that killed him. It's a large marble clock from my room. And look at it. It's shaped like a bear. It's all going according to the rhyme. God. God.
That settles it. Armstrong is still hiding somewhere around the house. Armstrong. I'm coming to get you!
Don't be a fool! I say, hey, don't be a fool!
Leave me!
It's only us now. We are next. He wants us to look for him.
I can tackle this beast!
But Armstrong is mad. He's twice as cunning as anyone else.
What do we do then?
Stick together and wait till the boat comes.
Till the boat comes? Will the boat ever come?
It has to come sometime. But if we stick together, at least we give ourselves a chance.
Okay. We'll stick together.
How long is this going to take? Don't you think all the time that there is someone watching and waiting?
That's just nerves. Or maybe your conscience.
Conscience?
Yes, conscience. Maybe you did drown that kid after all.
What's the point of denying that now?
There was a woman in it probably, wasn't there?
Yeah. Vera Hamilton. We were in love. She had a younger brother, Cyril. I allowed him to swim, knowing that it would be dangerous and he would die. And Vera, she knew of my crime. She sent me a note with one line. I have no wish to marry a murderer. I keep imagining things. Voices. Cyril's voice, whining, asking to go to the rock. Vera's voice, calling me a murderer. It haunts. It haunts me.
Now look
it haunts me.
Look here. Calm down. Calm down. I say, what's that thing down there? Wedged in between those two rocks?
Looks like a piece of cloth.
No, it's a man.
Man? Can't be.
Look carefully. See that leg sticking out? It's a man, drowned and washed in by the tide. That shirt.
Good heavens, it's Armstrong.
It is Armstrong. Unmistakably him. So that's it, isn't it, Clayton?
There's no one on the island. No one at all, except the two of us.
Yes, you and me.
How did you kill Armstrong?
How did you drop the marble bear on Blow? This is the end. Stop that.
Absolutely.
Stop that. Stop there. Stop right there. Don't move.
Were you looking for this? This?
Give me that revolver.
No.
Now here, young man, you are crazy. Give me!
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Oh no! Oh God! Oh my God! Oh God! Wargrave! Oh, how can this be? No, my imagination. My imagination. This is not true.
It's all come true, Clayton.
No.
My 10 little Indian plan. My rhyme.
No, I'm imagining things. I'm imagining things. This can't be true. He's dead.
You
He's
look
dead.
so scared.
He's dead. He's dead.
Why are you so nervous? Are you afraid? Don't worry. This is the court of justice. And justice you will surely get. You thought I was dead, huh? You thought I was a ghost?
Imagination. Step out of it. Step out of it. Out of it. Out of it.
Did Armstrong tell you that I was a ghost? Or did Armstrong tell you I was dead? What did he tell you? I only pretended to die. Because I could spy upon the guilty one.
I'm not.
You see, Clayton, I am the judge of the High Court. And I've got a sense of justice. The law couldn't do anything to you. It couldn't touch you. So, are you surprised? Are you surprised? My legs are all right, man. Are you surprised? Sit there.
How can this be?
So I had to take the law into my own hands.
No, please. Please. No.
Silence!
No.
Marston was first. Then Albert got him easily with a rod and axe. I doped Brent's coffee so that he couldn't feel the prick. Putting barbitone in the brandy for Rogers was easy. Blow was a fool. And then what? You remember this revolver? Returning it was interesting, right? See what you did in the end? Poor Lombard. Now it's your turn, Mr. Clayton. I sentence you to death.
Never! You'll never get away with this.
I won't be there to find out. I'll be laid neatly on my bed, shot through the forehead. See this revolver. I'm making sure that I preserve your fingerprints on it. Not so easy. And then with the cord from my spectacles, I will tie it to the trigger. And when the weight of my body falls on the spectacles, the trigger will run. And then, when the revolver recoils, the door will get jammed. And then, when they come here from the mainland, they will see 10 dead bodies. 10 dead bodies with an unsolved problem here on Soldier Island.
I'm innocent.
You are
I
innocent?
swear. Yeah, I'm innocent.
During the gramophone recital, I was watching you very closely. In my long years of court experience, I have no doubt in my mind you killed that child. And now see what you did. See what you did to Lombard. You killed him. How does it feel to be a killer? This one's for you. One little Indian left all alone. He went and hanged himself. And then there were none. Quick! Goodbye, Mr. Clayton. Whoa!
Mr. Clayton, you are charged with murder. Hang yourself, murderer.
Murderer! Do you think I will marry a murderer? Hang yourself!
Hang yourself.
Marry a murderer? Hang yourself!
Hang yourself.
Murderer!
Murderer.
Murderer!